Okay, you guys, this is a quick update video to address literally, I think there's like 55,000 comments on my YouTube channel alone. And the majority of them have been on those 2 or 3 hunt story videos that I placed up a handful of months ago. You know, one of them actually has close to 1 million hits on it. It's not even possible for me to answer to all the comments. It's not possible. And to top it off, we've got probably 500,000 people under social media with comments there as well. And it's just not going to happen. So I'm going to make a quick reply to everybody with a video right here, right now, to address a lot of the questions that people have asked. You know, the one where my bullet shell had no gunpowder in it. I probably get 10 comments a day of people saying, don't ever trust another person's reloading. Why would you do that? My answer to that is, I'm not a reloading guy. I'm not a gun guy. Guns aren't a hobby to me. A gun to me is like a crescent wrench is, or an open-ended wrench is to a mechanic. It's just a tool. I'm just not into guns. I've never reloaded anything in my life. I don't know anything about reloading bullets. And it's just one of those 1 in a million happenings. And it's never happened again. I've been in the mountains for, over 30 years. And that's the only time it ever happened. So to all you people that are absolutely blowing a gasket about me trusting somebody else's hand loads, whoops. I mean, it was a 1 in a million chance in life, and it happened. It hasn't happened since. It hasn't happened before. I'll guarantee you it won't happen again because no, I don't touch hand loads since. I never have, and I never will. And just so you guys know how often I actually do shoot a gun, I'll buy a box of 20 shells. I'll throw out a couple shots to make sure my gun's shooting straight, good enough. And if I do harvest anything for myself with the rifle that year, it might be 1 or 2 animals tops. That's it. So now you're looking at 4 bullets a season. Not much shooting going on there. So there you go. That's what happened with that episode. It was a once in a lifetime mishap. Hasn't happened before, hasn't happened since. Won't happen again. Now, and a lot of other people have been commenting on that other video, the one where I didn't have a gun. Well, I'll tell you what. When you're guiding in the north of British Columbia, sometimes Yukon, usually in British Columbia, because the farther north you go, the shorter the season. But when you're guiding in northern British Columbia or most of British Columbia, you are typically in the middle of nowhere for a minimum 2 months to usually up to 2.5 months, 3 months straight at a time. And just so you know, we're living with grizzly bears every single day. And, there's a lot of you out there are terrified of grizzly bears. You just cannot believe it that somebody would actually go into grizzly bear country every single day without a sidearm or a weapon right up to the marbles. Well, not everybody's that scared of grizzly bears because you don't need to be scared of them. You respect them. You know where to go, where not to go. On average, grizzly bears are too intelligent. They don't attack us randomly. They just don't. We've gone wrangling in the morning at 4 in the morning in the dark looking for horses without a gun almost every single time because, seriously speaking, the chances of you getting chewed on by a grizzly bear are about 1 in a million. It's not even going to happen unless you cause it first. 99% of my bad grizzly encounters, I started it first, so I had it coming. You go pick a fight with a grizzly bear, you intentionally go to try to shoot a grizzly bear, help somebody kill one, game on. It's fair game for both sides. But that particular day that I went without a rifle, we had 2 hunters. What happens is we have 2 hunters fly into camp by bush plane. It takes us usually around 10 to 12 to 14 hours horseback ride one way to get to camp. And once we're there, we're there. That's it, we're there, we're not leaving. But the 2 hunters will come and switch out every 10 days to every 2 weeks. So in the very beginning of the season, I forget what happened, but somebody forgot a scabbard or scabbard got broken, but we needed an additional scabbard for one of the 4 horses. So there's 2 guide horses, 2 hunter horses go out for the day, and there was only, I believe there's only 2 scabbards in camp. Whatever the reason was, I offered up my scabbard to the other hunter, said, here, take mine. And we had one coming out on the bush plane later on. So, and everybody says, well, why'd you go without a gun? Well, because in all my years guiding, in all my years riding these exact same trails, you just don't have these things don't happen all the time. We joke about it. We joke about me having things happen to me all 1 in a million happens to me monthly. Well, I have had some unfortunate luck, and I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me. It's only because I'm out there all the time. But in reality, the chances of me riding into Grizzly Gulch and riding into a grizzly bear, or having a grizzly bear chase a moose down right into my lap, is 1 in a gazillion. It's never happened before. It's never happened since. It happened once in my lifetime. And you're just not thinking about that, expecting that to happen every single time you leave your horse or leave your cabin. For me to go 1 day without a gun is not, it's not a high-risk move. And furthermore, by law, we're not allowed to shoot game while we're guiding. So the hunter's typically got the gun, as he did that day, and he's the one that's gonna make it go down. Getting a little rainy out here. So anyways, when you do go guiding, like I said earlier, typically you're not, legally you're not allowed to shoot the game. Only your hunter is. So he's got a rifle, he's the one that's gonna get it done. And furthermore, you know, after years and years and years of the same trails, the same areas, living with grizzly bears daily and not seeing them daily. I mean, you don't see them that often. They're way, way too intelligent. They know we're bad. They avoid us at all costs. They don't prey on us intentionally. Maybe there's some stories in the past about grizzly bears that have preyed on human beings, but it's typically probably 1 in a billion. It's not really much of a risk to go out there without your rifle for 1 day. It's just not. It's like when you whip to the grocery store with your seatbelt off once or twice or 7 times. You know, the chances of something happening are pretty unlikely. But unfortunately, that 1 day that I gave up my scabbard to the other hunter, I mean, there was no kills down on the ground to make it more cautious and more wary about going into that area. There's nothing. So it's just 1 day. And why didn't I bring my rifle? Well, to tell you flat out, when you have to go out every single day from sun up to sundown for 3 months straight in the mountains, in thick bush, in willow, in forest, riding on horses, mountain horse riding, which is probably the ultimate challenging riding there is, you're not going to be carrying your rifle in your hand while you're riding a horse. It's just not going to happen. And you have to have a backpack on your back every single day. Every day. Tripod, lunch, rain gear, extra bullets, knives, spotting scope. You can't cross throw your rifle on your back, cross it that way and ride. It's just not going to happen. It's a pain in the ass. And for me personally, for a lot of other guides, believe me, packing stuff every single day is just such a pain after a while. It really sucks. So no, am I going to carry my rifle in one hand or my shotgun and ride, blocking branches and pushing stuff out of the way while I ride my horse, bunking him in the head of the rifle or whatever, getting caught up with the rifle? No, not today. I'm not into it. It's challenging enough every day. It's physically taxing as it is every day. So no, I left my gun in the cabin. Once, you know. So it was unfortunate what happened. It was a 1 in a million. I've never had a 60-inch plus bull moose be chased by a grizzly bear literally into my lap ever since, and I've never even heard the story once in my life from anybody else. So all you people that are shaking your head in bewilderment why we're not armed to the teeth like we're going into a jihad war, or like we're risking our life every single day in treacherous, dangerous, grizzly-infested country. Well, it's just not like that. You know, you're more than likely you're going to go through the windshield of your car without a seatbelt on, going to go to the store for bread, than you are going out for the day in the woods in British Columbia. It's just the way it is. I mean, there's grizzlies everywhere in this province. There's grizzlies right behind me in this forest somewhere, and I'm within eyesight of the Whistler Ski Village gondola right now, and there's grizzly bears here. Do I got a gun? Nope. Does anybody else have a gun? Probably not. So there you go. It is what it is. It happened. And and as far as, and there's, you know, there's other people commenting there about, why don't you have a sidearm? I can't believe you don't have a big sidearm. Well, unfortunately, our twisted government in Canada has made it so difficult for us to have a sidearm, period, handgun. I think they think that if we have a handgun, we're going to go shoot up a mall or roll a 7-Eleven or something. So they made it very difficult for us to have a handgun. You can get a permit and use it as a protective sidearm. But me, once again, no. I don't need a frickin' gun hanging off my hip. I already got a rangefinder, binocular, spot and scope, backpack, rifle, rain gear, all that snot on my back every single day. I don't need to be strapping on a handgun too. I don't, I never have, I never will. And I'm 50 years old now, and here I am, I'm still alive. and there isn't one time in my life that I wished I did have a handgun, to be straight up honest. Not once. I mean, even that day I had that big sow in front of me and those 3 cubs, I didn't know I didn't have any gunpowder in my shell, but I as well wasn't standing there wishing to God that I had a handgun. Lots of guys do, some guys don't. I don't care, I'm good, I'm still alive, I'm all right, I'm confident, I know what I'm doing, and but there's no way out of it. It doesn't matter who you are, how long you've been doing it. The more you go into the woods, the higher the chances are some goofball experience is going to go down. That's all there is to it. That's the way life is. So there you go. So I've addressed why I don't have a sidearm. I addressed to you guys why I didn't have a gun that one day, but I also include you guys into knowing that you're not going to die out there, and everything's not running and hiding behind every single tree and stump, ghouly monsters or grizzly bears trying to kill you. It's just not the way it is. It's actually very, very safe out there. It's very relaxing and it's a lot of fun. But there are dangers there, but there's a lot more dangers in a city, any city, than there is out here hunting for big game. So aside from all that, I do have a pile more stories. I got a bunch more grizzly bear stories, wolf stories, crazy hunt stories. But to be straight up honest, I keep getting emails and messages, people asking me for more hunt stories. I'm so taxed on time, it's crazy. And videotaping, making a video story, editing it up and doing all the garb, it takes a lot of time, and time I don't really have right now. We have these hunting and angling apps we're producing, takes a lot of filming, a lot of time. I just finished 3 months straight full-time wolf conservation in British Columbia. That was so taxing, it was unbelievable. And now we're getting into rolling out some new hunting apps. But one thing you guys might want to know is our new app platform now is coming with more features. And as an example, on the Blacktail Hunter app, the new one's coming out. It's got a bunch of new handy features on it, new contributors, more contributors, weather features. But I'm putting a Blacktail Hunter podcast onto the app. And the app is free download. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play. And some of the stuff is full access, month subscription. It's going to be knocked down to like $3 a month or something minor. That's it. And but it's designed to work with the internet connection, help you guys out there hunt, fish, and but more interesting for a lot of you people that are enjoying the hunt stories is we are producing a Blacktail Hunter podcast, and it's going to be in its own chapter on the Blacktail Hunter app. So that's going to be very, very interesting. It's not going to be it's not going to be a big celebrity fest. You know, there's a lot of people out there with big followings, TV hunters, professional hunters, and they're all swapping back and forth and building up each other's social media followings, and they're hammering on each other's podcasts. But there's a lot of people out there that I know of that you really need to hear from, and those are the professional guides who have been doing crazy stuff all their lives, and you don't know who they are, and you've never heard the stories. So I'm going to bring those stories to life on the Blacktail Hunter podcast. I'm going to interview old-time rural residents where I live who have been running around the woods since probably, 3 times longer than I have. They've lived through when black-tailed deer actually crashed to a point. They said that one doe was harvested in the entire community for 2 whole seasons. It was crazy. So we're going to talk to those old guys about those days. That's what I want to hear about. And some renowned taxidermists who are also passionate hunters and blacktail hunters too. And they're actually Boone and Crockett scorers. And I'd like to get their take on the bench leg topic, how they decide what might be a full bore blacktail rat coming to get measured and what might not be. We'll discuss the competitiveness in people in their hunting. And we'll get the gritty, dirty details on all aspects of the whole ball of wax, and we're going to talk about it. And it's going to be very, very interesting. I'll be blasting together some more hunt stories and throwing them up on the Blacktail Hunter podcast chapter for sure, and you can find them there. And if I do get time, we'll throw some up here on the YouTube channel, but just so you guys know, it's very, very time consuming, and unfortunately we all have to make a living as well, so we got to hammer at work and hammer at our priorities. But go ahead, grab one of the apps, and you can access a lot of stuff on there for free. It's a free download and free access to the podcast and a bunch of the stories that way. And what else? We just released a new stillwater fly fishing app with Phil Rowley and Brian Chan, world-renowned fly fishers. That thing is absolutely awesome. It's killing it. It's in over 18 countries now. And if you are an avid fly fisher and you want to enhance your game, go check out, do a search on the App Store for still water fly fishing and grab up their app. It is absolutely cool. It's crazy, and it just gets better by the week. So there you go. That's what I got. I hope I answered all your guys' comments, although I'm pretty certain I'm going to continue to get 5 or 10 or 15 comments a day of never trust people's hand loads. Why did you go without a gun? How come you don't have a sidearm? Okay. Thanks for tuning in, and tell your friends, spread us around, and good luck out there, and enjoy it as much as we do, and take our knowledge and use it. All right.